with the accident involving the Honourable Member of Parliament for Nanton in the Northern Region, Honourable Hadi Tuferu, his Deputy Minister for Agriculture. Honourable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Kumar.
We heard about the... Yes, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to say a good evening to our cherished listeners.
We heard something disturbing just at the time that Parliament needed to consider a very critical element or item on the table on Friday night, and that it was your vehicle was involved in an accident and you were on board as well. Exactly what happened? Do you remember?
You very well. Thank you so very much, Kumar, and good evening to our cherished listeners. Actually, our ministry, exactly so, I'm MP for Nanton, Mohamed Hadi Tuferu, and Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture. Our ministry, we have a new minister, and he has outlined a series of activities and programs involving directors, directories, development partners, affiliate organizations, for us to understand, for him to really, all of us, actually, we are all now learning properly to understand agriculture in Ghana, food security, target setting, numbers, real issues. That is what we have been doing for the past week, and we plan to continue this week, today. So he has a disciplined character. If he says 9 o'clock, the program should start 9 o'clock. We have to be there 9 o'clock. So from last 2 weeks, I started leaving home early, like 5 o'clock, come to Parliament, take some rest, and then go to be able to be on time to start the program. So on Friday, I got to Parliament 6:30, take a rest up to 8:30, and left Parliament for Minister of Agriculture. Then we did the meeting up to 4 o'clock. So I came to Parliament at 4. Then we were in the chamber. We were doing our normal work. Then suspension. We come back, suspension up to 6, 7 o'clock. And then 7:15. Actually, along the line, in the whole, in the scheme of things, my wife was at the hospital with my small girl at the International Maritime Hospital. So we were communicating and things were going fine. Until later part, when she told me that the drips were not going well, then but it was all good, and they removed the system, waiting for some time to reconnect. So we were communicating up to like 7:15 when her phone went off. I was calling, trying to reach her. I couldn't get her on phone. But then we were also on suspension in Parliament. So I did some calculation to use some 45 minutes to go and come back, and then continue with parliamentary process. So upon reaching the hospital, then calls started coming that minority had raised the issue of they had challenged the voice vote, and that we needed to take the second option, which was a head count, and I was in the chamber. And I started driving back to Parliament. That was around 9. It was past 9. So I was on. Then I was almost in Parliament around from the CID headquarters, driving to that was a Institute of Journalism. Then this other car was also coming from that direction. Then there's a access route to join the main route. It was at that point that we didn't all see. He didn't see me coming. I didn't see him coming because I was always looking at Parliament and the cost and the pressure to come and be counted. And then the contact occurred at that particular point.
I see. Were you alone in your car?
Yes, I was alone. I was the one driving.
And so you must have been speeding because you were called to come to the house.
Top of, I mean, you can describe it how you want to do it.
I can describe. You're on top speed.
Yes.
Which is a bit, against the motor traffic rules to be driving at that speed at that enclave at that time. Yes. So you agree? You agree with that one?
Very well, very well.
Okay. Then you ran into this guy. What happened next? Do you remember?
Oh yes. So the car somersaulted thrice. I lost total control. Then it got stuck. Then what I remember was that I was still alive. I was fine. There was no way I could get the windows open. Fortunately, the windscreen had come down, and that provided the window for me to come out of the car.
So you managed to come out on your own. You were not pulled out by anybody.
Yes.
What about the other person in the other vehicle? Was it one person or more?
Actually, it's only this morning that we met at the police station when I went there to do the formalities. Then he also came there. I was not thinking about him. I was thinking about myself. I realized that I was better. I could walk. I could talk. Some few people were around to support, and they wanted me to sit down. They wanted me to organize myself. I did a little. And then, fortunately, some of the parliamentary staff workers was passing by. They saw me. They recognized me. Then they were on an Uber. Then I wanted to get to Parliament to vote because that was what was worrying me so much. Then they came out of the Uber and ordered the driver to send me to Parliament. And then they were around to take care of my valuables in the car until my niece arrived.
So an Uber took you to Parliament?
Yes.
At that time, you felt good? Did you see blood on you or anything?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even know that blood was all over me. I was just rushing to the chamber because the calls were too many. And I was going, fortunately for me, so some of the leadership, Habib in particular, was outside and he spotted me. Then he took me and then sent me to, we have a male's washroom just around one of the 4 doors in the chamber for Muslim by majority side of the house. So he took me to that, and the nurses were also around, and they came around, and then it was at that point I realized blood was all over my body, and the nurses did what they needed to do. They did very well. I want to thank the parliamentary clinic workers for that wonderful job they did.
Okay, what did they do to you? They stitched you up?
They dressed me. I had a cut on my upper part of my right eye. It was very deep, so they needed to stitch it and do some of the things that they needed to do, including these painkillers and a lot of clinical work that needed to be done on me.
You had a cut on the upper part of your eye, and I'm sure it was bleeding. And
yes.
And so on your drive to Parliament,
I didn't drive to Parliament.
I know. I mean, what I mean is that on the ride, I mean, you being in the car or the back seat or wherever you are, you didn't feel anything.
I was all thinking about the 3 bills to be passed, so that Ghana can move on. Everybody will be fine, because we have been thinking about it for the past 1 month or so.
So the adrenaline in you was higher than anything else happening to your body?
Precisely so.
Now, in Parliament itself, you met your deputy whip, Habib. He took you to the washroom, and the people came to take care of you. And then what happened next?
So after they got me, the preliminary work they did on me to get me clean up and ready for vote, and I was ready, and I wanted to even go to the chamber to vote, but I saw them talking to leadership and the clerk and maybe speaker that I could be allowed to be in the
washroom.
Ambulance.
Oh, okay. So you're taken to an ambulance?
They are taking me to the ambulance, which was parked outside. And then I was lying with one. I have to also mention one of our colleagues, MP, Dr. Citi. He also joined the Parliament clinic nurses to perform those tasks for me in terms of getting me up. So I saw them talk to leadership. and the minority, a majority plus some members of the clerk table, they came to the ambulance, and then they rescued me and then Dr. Citi, where myself and him were counted whilst we were in the ambulance.
At this time, you were conscious. You were not dizzy. Nothing.
I was fine, and I wanted to even go to the chamber to vote, but they advised that minority were willing to come and count me whilst I was in the ambulance.
In the washroom, they stitched your cut, the one on top of your eye. Did they do anything else to you on your physical body?
Yeah, they gave me drugs.
So they gave you oral drugs. You took tablets and capsules.
Drugs,
Did they inject you?
But because of before the siege, they injected, so it also helped lessen the pain.
You were injected in the toilet of Parliament, and you felt good about that.
You see, you may not really understand what was actually happening, and I'm sure you are also mindful of the important bills that we needed to pass, without which so many things would have gone wrong with that. So, honestly speaking, I don't know how you are going to feel about it, and I don't even care how whoever is going to comment and feel about it. I was for Ghana, I was for my party, my government, and I needed to do whatever to get the bill passed.
Did you feel that your life was less important than the bill at that time?
Yes. If it was, you can take it like that. I'm fine. Yes.
I see. So you were in the ambulance. Your vote was counted. What happened next?
Yes. And then they took me to one facility, Irake.
Irake, in cantonment.
Yes, exactly. Where they did some scanning on my head because the doctors were they look at the car, they look at my body, and they thought that they needed to do. And actually, the doctors also did very well. And it turned out that actually there were no problems. They did scan on my left arm because I was also experiencing pain there, and the results were very good. So they advised that they will admit me and then observe it for a while, and then I ended up sleeping at that facility with the hands of the capable and hard-working doctors, with all the drugs and infusions and all the things that they did actually helped. The next morning, at about 8 o'clock, 8:30, the doctor felt that my condition was stabilized and I was good to go. So he discharged me.
I see. And you traveled to Tamale?
Yes, I went to Tamale because my people, Nanton people, news had gone around that with the video of my car in that I was there. So many people, I would have lost so many concerts, and I'm not in a position where I could do further extra work of just visiting my people for them to see me, because I have told them, they have heard my voice, I have laughed with them, I have chatted with them, but still they don't believe that even still at that, but they felt that I will have broken arm or leg or some serious condition. So they just needed to see and satisfy themselves that I was really still myself. And I had to go there.
So again, instead of resting, you decided to put politics ahead and you traveled to Nanton. Even though you could have stayed home to rest in Accra, you traveled all the way to Nanton to prove a political point that you are fine to your political supporters.
You don't say political point. There are other benefits of the visit, if you care to know. The people really need the old men, chiefs, imams. They were all scared and worried, and the results could have. If I share you some of the experiences, it will surprise you.
So you simply want to show them that you're not dead, you are not hurt, you are fine.
No. I just wanted to save lives because people were really, feeling so bad about the condition because, they had shown pictures of the car and so many other stories. Okay. And a lot of people, old people, were actually not happy and they were suffering.
3 days.
I needed to show.
3 days on, reflecting on all what happened on Friday night, is there any point where you would say now, having had the opportunity of hindsight, to say that you acted recklessly, irresponsibly as a person and also as a member of parliament and a politician?
I don't really know what kind of response I should give to this. That I drove back to Parliament to perform my legislative duty of taking a decision on a bill, and out of even if it was not for that, normally as human being, as Umar, you can be. I mean, you yourself, you know, sometimes you are overwhelmed, you are under pressure, and you can behave, you can act unreasonable in some cases. Human beings can act reasonably in most cases, and one or two occasions, like I found myself on the Friday, you can act unreasonable. So you can.
Yeah, so that's actually why I'm asking that. Was there any point that you would say, "Oh, I think I acted unreasonably on point A or point B"?
I haven't.
Not
Umar,
even not even driving at top speed on a road like that. You don't.
I told you, human being once a while you stray off. So it's one of the many occasions that.
But it wasn't unreasonable. You don't think it was an unreasonable thing what you did?
Of course, it was. I will not also say it was reasonable. I will not say that.
And you will not say it was reckless as well.
No, it wasn't reckless. It was just maybe, I don't know, one of the cases where human being can act out of order. Human being can behave.
So you were disorderly.
Umaru, the point I'm making is that on one or two occasions, human being can stray off a little.
So you don't regret anything at all that you did that night? I mean, you don't even apologize to yourself and to your family for endangering yourself the way you did, considering that you could have...
Honestly speaking, you were not with me. I was driving back. Maybe you needed to just be with me in the car.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to be in an accident car.
So then allow me to tell you that I am fine, I did exactly what I needed to do to train my police to vote.
Question: if a constituent of yours was traveling from Nanton to Tamale to go sell his wares that he harvested from Nanton, and then he was involved in an accident, would you advise him to continue to the market to sell or go to the hospital and get checked first?
This is a different matter altogether. Out for market, you can be with your colleagues, marketers, farmers going to do the same work. They can take it and sell for on your behalf. With this particular one, you needed to be there to be counted personally. So you can't compare the two.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. The gentleman whom you rammed your car into, he has spoken to us. He said that you just left him there. You did nothing at all. You owed him a duty of care. Do you think you were very responsible to him?
Umaru, I am going to, I'm fasting and I don't want to talk out of order. Honestly speaking, I don't believe, unless you want me to hear the voice of the person. This man I have found this morning. We have met at the hospital, at the police station at Osu, and we had a very good conversation. We'll see what we are saying. Forgive me, Umar.
Okay, so you have made up with him. You have apologized to him for leaving him.
Don't even say apology. We were all in distress. We were seriously in trouble. I don't think he was in trouble. You were in trouble because what he said to us was that. What he said to us this morning was that you were speeding. As I mentioned earlier on, let's leave it at that. This gentleman will not say what you are saying.
No, he said that on the radio.
I challenge you. Well, then if you want later.
No, I'll play it after your interview. If you want to stay, you can stay and listen. I can actually play that interview. But he said that
he's a very fine gentleman.
No problem. I'm just telling you what he said. If you didn't hear him,
very high in faith, and I believe that gentleman so much.
He said you were speeding. You failed to slow down when you got to the junction, which you should have done.
I think we have passed this stage.
So the police, when you went to the police, did they say you did anything unlawful that they would have to charge you?
They are doing investigation until they finish the investigation. What else can they do? They can't say what you are saying at this stage.
So you've written your statement. They have not brought any charges. Nothing. They said just go.
Umaru.
Yes.
Fortunately for us, those important bills were passed, and we are fine. As you can hear from my voice, the other gentleman is still qualifying. We met at I even took him halfway when he was going to eye clinic. because he was having flashes, and we even promised to talk maybe sometime after 8 o'clock this evening. Then we move on.
Honorable, wish you all the best, and please take your medicines.
Yes.
In time.
Omar, this is why we should be, because I don't want to even joke with them, but I'm also happy that you have advised me to take it.
I hope you are not fasting.
I even fasted yesterday and today, and even that it happened after I broke my fast. Yesterday I fasted, and today too I'm fasting.
Please take care of yourself.
It's not as serious as the plan.
Take care of your daughter. Your daughter and your wife. They want to see you alive. So please be careful.
Fine.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Regards to everybody. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.